Trump is a genius. Mr. Trump is a freaking genius. He raised our taxes, everyone taxes, in the United States of America and blame the Supreme Court and the rhinos. Yeah, I am a rhino now. Rhino. So, that is the reality. That is what really happened. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about tariff. The Supreme Court said that what Mr. Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, a Czechoslovakian that learned how to speak English and forgot who is Esteban Rodriguez Miro, Bernardo Conde de Galvez, and all those Cuban women that turn in their gold to buy shots, gunpowders, and cannons for the Continental Army to defeat the English, all the way from all the way to 1791, I believe. Yes, that same Czechoslovakian, they forgot that, and they now is sending those Cubans back to Cuba because they are bad hombres and they are invading the United States of America. Well, that guy, that president of the United States of America, they went and kidnapped Maduro, and now they got Mexico blowing each other up in some kind of drug czar fights. That guy just have laughed on everyone. He raised taxes to everyone, and he's a Republican, but he used to be a Democrat. Remember that? He's the one hanging out with Jeffrey Einstein, with Liberace, the piano player taste. Everything had to be made out of gold, you know. I mean, what the F is happening in this country? Yes, tariff was just like Obamacare, a big tax raise for you little peasants, and blame somebody else and made the rich richer. The Supreme Court say that what Trump have done is illegal. Well, we already knew that, you know, but they allow it to happen because all these billions and billions of dollars that they collect in tariff when they import products, we, the people of the United States of America, pay for it. Corporations do not pay taxes. We pay for it. We, the consumer. All that extra value or taxes are transferred to you and I. And the people just sit tight and take it up their asses. And you got now Mexicans they want to be white, they just wanting, because no one ever is going to accept them. Mr. Trump will never accept a Mexican that become white. I mean, it's impossible. And now they are even more poor. That is what happened. My grandfather used to say, do not spend money to try to look rich. Be rich. And that is exactly what is happening. People are just consuming, and because you consume and consume, you have created a pyramid that without that consumption will collapse. The economy of the United States of America collapse. So that is what the tariff is all about, because they need to change. They need to have the industries to move around, because when industries move around, it obstruct the supply chains. And when you obstruct the supply chains, now you make it more cheaper, because now you are looking for cheaper suppliers. And who is the cheaper suppliers? Well, the Indians and the Pakistanis. They melt metal without shoes. They make peanut butter and jelly sandwich with their feet in rusty equipment. And that is what is happening. They are trying to keep up with that pyramid. And the only way you can keep that pyramid is by making somebody a slave. And that is what is happening right now. They making everyone a slave. Let me give you an example on the trucking industry. I hope you can listen. I'm going down the road ranting. In the trucking industry, during the pandemic, I was making more money than ever on trucking, because they stop all these regulations to move freight fast and cheap. Not only that, corporations needed drivers, so they raised their pay. And the Canadians start buying truck lines like Canaan Advantage Group that I was working for at the time, and UPS. Yes, UPS. That corporation was paying like what, 112, 120 to a driver. That is what I was making at that time. Well, today, now you go into a boardroom, a truck line boardroom, and they have a reunion, and this reunion is to tell the drivers, hey, listen, we are going to lower you pay. Not raise you pay, lower you pays. You pay a schedule. And people just sit there and look at each other like don't fault, but no one opened their mouths and say, hell no, you ain't doing that. No, the man in the United States of America has become a lamb, and that is unbelievable. I have never seen it that way. They run like cockroaches at the moment on the fight. They run like cockroaches. They're telling you that everybody's gay and everybody's gay, but they are the one gay. They don't have the fucking cojones to get up in front of everybody and say, no, I do not work for nothing, when people like Mr. Donald Trump and Jeff Epstein getting rich on our backs, and everybody that is consuming is are able to consume because you are enslaving me. So now, what happened to the Canadians? They acquire all these high-paying companies like KAG and UPS. Well, the first thing the KAG does is lower my pay. And of course, the next thing I do is just get out of town. Now UPS that is paying their drivers about $175,000. This is to a truck driver now. $175,000. Now they are buying out the drivers because they need to load that pay. So everyone on the trucking industry, from the very best, like Canadians owning United States of America corporations, now they are out to destroy us, not to help us. The moment that Mr. Trump, with all those tariffs, trying to take our money and tax us, and try to show it up the Canadians and tell them that he's going to take them over and diminish them, well, they are retaliating with a vengeance. So now no longer a truck driver can be a consumer, a high paid consumer. Now he's going to be joining the entry level pay market. For example, I'm not making this thing up. I have been offered $19 an hour to drive a truck on the farming industry. And I go to all these farmers and they're making $13 an hour or $12 an hour working day in and day out. And that is what Burger King is paying. So what is happening is the gap in between the very wealthy and the poor is getting wider and wider. So that what they used to call the middle class. People can afford a car or go on vacation in Europe once a year. Things like that. Used to have you can own a boat, a nice car or a motorcycle, some kind of hobby. Buy a camera, one of those Canon camera that costs like $5,000 now. A consumer like that can no longer do it, can no longer afford it, because everyone start lowering the United States of America high pay worker pay. They increasing the pay of the very low and decreasing of the middle ones, basically making everybody poor. That is what happened in Cuba. In the island of Cuba, they want to destroy it. Is that they do not make the rich richer, they're making the poor richer. But when you do that, then you make the poor richer. Guess what? The whole pyramid collapse. The whole consuming pyramid will collapse because nobody can consume. And that is what is happening in the United States of America. And that is what the data is showing. And who is up to benefit all this? Well, the super rich, because now they are going to force the middle class to work for nothing because they control the pay. And people no longer are unionized. Now they are color code. So who is going to suffer the most? MAGA. MAGA. The Mexicans and the Cubans, they voted for Trump. Those who invaded the Capitol building on January the 6th. Those are going to be suffering the most because those are the ones that had the time. They had the time to get involved in politics because they earn money and they have the time. But when you have to get up and work to earn a living, to pay for your house and your insurances and your gas and electricity and trash and internet, when you have to work 16, 17, 18, 20 hours a day, because I have done it, that I'm not just making this thing up out of thin air. Well, you don't have time to get involved in politics. You have no time to get involved in nothing. So you are going to be just a little better than a slave. And that is what Donald Trump have accomplished. The man is a genius. He tags you and you took it up your ass like a nice little MAGA Mexican, Cuban, Puerto Rican, color code white, and some color code blacks and Indians, like Patel from the United States of Bharat, the head of the FBI, took it up your ass really comfortably. And then, guess who you're going to be blaming? You're going to be blaming me for telling you about it. Because that is how you are. You are nothing. You are just weak. And because you are weak, you find something to blame. That is what religion does in countries like Afghanistan and Tajikistan and all these stands. They make you fear and you take it up your ass and you cannot do nothing because you are nothing. That is why. So yes, MAGA right now is nothing. And some of the MAGA people are realizing this, and you have seen a few attempts to the President of the United States of America live, like yesterday, this color code white entre Mar-a-Lago, trying to assault the place like he was in the movie or something. So yes, MAGA is going to be suffering the most. And Trump say it. I love the ignorant and the peasant because they will follow me and I can take advantage of them. Well, I know that I am one against many, and I will never have a follower because I will never make you feel good. But I, like so many others, like Socrates, and like many others, like those who believe in the theory of they call now the evolution and things like that, scientists. Now they were in a singularity against many, but they at the end were proven victorious. So yes, do not listen to me, make yourself feel good, do not get involved, going fast because you believe. But I tell you that if you fear a man telling you something like do not eat when you're hungry, or not have sex when a woman asks you to, well, if you follow that, you deserve to be a freaking slave. Saludos.